Hello, all you social media suicide warriors. Dan Pelly here, inspirational speaker, suicide warrior. Tonight's topic is rebuilding. We can rebuild our lives even after suffering depression, overcoming obstacles, deadlocks, sufferings. Whatever we're dealing with, we can find a way to rebuild. And when I had my 2 attempts and I wasn't thinking about rebuilding, I was thinking about regressing and giving up. And I made the 2 biggest mistakes of my life. You don't have to make these mistakes and learn the hard way and maybe not survive. And then you miss out on a whole lot of life and a whole lot of good things that happen. So I was thinking about this rebuilding, and I said, if I didn't start taking action and doing things I needed to do to rebuild, I would have never got better. So we have to look at what's happening with us, where we are in our sufferings and our sickness, and take the steps that it's going to take to rebuild our lives. Because it's possible. I'm living proof. In 96, I was clinically depressed for over 2 years, and I was in suicide ideation for at least 7 months, and then it just spiraled down, and things were crumbling, not rebuilding. And you have to really look at this because, and then when I had my second attempt in 2010, although I was crumbling again and things were happening in my life and depression snuck back up on me after 14 years, I knew more about my sickness and I knew more about the things it was going to take, like asking for help. That's the beginning of your rebuilding, right? If you don't speak up, nobody's going to do it for you. And if you don't say, I'm suffering, I'm suicidal, I have suicide ideation, you're never going to be able to rebuild your life again. You might stay stuck. I know people that I've known that are stuck in depression. They're stuck in isolation. And no matter how much I inspire or how much someone else inspires or someone else encourages to do this or that, if that person doesn't make a decision in their heart to rebuild, then nothing's going to, no brick by brick, block by block, steel by steel, it's just, you're not going to build a new life structure for yourself. And it might start off very small. You might have incidents where it's just really like you feel like you're not making any kind of headway and you're kind of stuck. And rebuilding is asking for help, getting up and moving, trying to find things that inspire you, encourage you to rebuild your heart. You have to rebuild it here. You have to make a decision, just like some people I know that are stuck in isolation for years, 20 years. One person I know. And they love my inspiration. They love the way I encourage. But they're not rebuilding. They're staying in a stuck position in their life, and they're not rebuilding. So I wanted to address the rebuilding, that it really starts here, like everything else, of hope and courage and your last line of defense. And you start feeling it in your heart that I need to rebuild my life. I need to get the proper help. I need to go for help. I need to tell someone I need help. I need to work on what I'm doing with my chemical imbalance. Because if our mind's crumbling, our life is going to crumble too. So we have to look at this and say, okay, what steps do I need to make? First, I got to tell someone I need help. Second, I might have to go to a recovery program. Third, I might need to get on medication. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm coming from my 2 experiences of suicide attempts and what it took me to recover and get back my total happiness and live it, and not just external happiness, internal happiness, and really fighting for that. And taking the steps to rebuild, whether it was reading many books about self-help, going to recovery program. And I said, these are the steps that it's going to take for me to rebuild that feeling in my heart that first you want to live, right? You want to feel like I want to live and I don't want to die. And I want to give it all I got every day because, hey, look, nobody knows when our last moment's going to be. So we might as well give it all we got, right? We might as well say, it's up to me. Nobody's going to do this for me. It is really up to me to make this happen. And if I don't do this, and if I don't take these steps to move forward, I am going to be in this stuck position and I will never rebuild my life. And you need to see this to know that you can rebuild your life. You can make it happen. And as you take these steps and as you work through the recovery and you start getting blips of good feeling or feeling better or feeling like, oh, this feels better, right? This feels good, that I feel like I'm making some progress and I'm getting towards some, rebuilding. And I'm starting to, get productive again. I'm starting to feel better. And when that feeling of feeling better just a little bit, and you know it's there, and you want to grab onto it more, and you say, "This is it. I can see this is working." Whatever you're gonna do for yourself, whether it's medication, whether it's recovery program, whether it's spirituality, whether it's your job, whether it's just finding yourself in a peace. And sometimes we might not be working, we might be struggling financially. All these obstacles that come against us and all these things that happen to us doesn't mean that we have to break inside. And then more things have happened to me in my life and more problems, happiness, we suffer what we need to suffer, like I say, and we're happy, we enjoy what needs to be enjoyed. So as I was getting happier and feeling this and then saying to myself, this is working, and I'm going to win this. I'm going to win my happiness back, and I'm going to do it with the support of many, of reaching out, or even if it's reading or if it's going to spirituality, whatever you're going to do to lift yourself up and rebuild your life, that's going to be a key component for you. So try to take the steps. Try to, work your way towards the short list to a long list of doing more and getting to the point where you feel like you've rebuilt and you're building the blocks, and all of a sudden, the walls come up of strength. The walls of strength come up in you, and you're able to rebuild, and you're able to get it, yourself back into health, your health back, and back into society and back into living. I hope some of my words and my sentence inspired you tonight. Any inspiration I can give you to keep moving forward and keep rebuilding your lives. I'll leave you with my chant, Namyo Renge Kyo, for your good health, your protection, your wisdom, your determination, your happiness, your family, and your good fortune. My name's Dan Pelly, inspirational speaker, suicide warrior. Your life matters, and never give up. I'll see you on the next video.